What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wheel Talk. Today I'm going to be cleaning multiple pairs of shoes / ironing because I cleaned these in my last one. They're still looking fine. Looks a little weird with the boot tree inside of it. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of like sideways. Doesn't really matter though. What I'm going to do is iron these Thursday Diplomats because they do have these creases on them. So they're clean. They're pretty clean from the last time that I did this. Last time in my last video when I cleaned them. But then also, I was wearing these. I wore these like every day last week. I had just got them. It was my birthday week last week. Well, still technically this week because it's Sunday. And I was moving a trailer hitch. And the wheel on the dolly that I was using, it blacked up my shoe. I was like, dang it. And I was watching this other video from another YouTuber. I forget his name. He's from Australia. He said you could use saddle soap on these. And his shoes did not look like they were too darkened. They didn't look darkened at all, really. So I'm going to use saddle soap. If anything, it'll make them lighter. And then I'm going to condition them with leather lotion, not with mink oil. So that's the plan of attack right now. I might also give them like a wash with the spray foam. But first things first, what I'm going to do with this shoe, I also might... These are also really good Thursday captains. I'm not going to sell these, but they're a little wrinkled. I mean, they're still pretty clean too. I mean, I might not even touch these, to be honest. I might just focus on these two again. So I'm going to take out the laces, and I'm going to take out the kilties. Then I'm going to start ironing this boot before I even start cleaning it. Just to see how it looks after ironing. Like, I wonder if it'll turn back to the texture of these boots, which is like that rough out leather type of texture. So we'll see. I'll follow it with you. Right now I'm going to get the iron heated up, and then I'm going to start ironing, and then I'm going to switch to cleaning. So I'll follow up with you once I start cleaning. Alright, I'm almost ready to I'm almost ready to start ironing them, but I just took out the laces and the kilties. And something of note, so today we went to the beach, and I took these shoes to the beach, and I don't know, but there's no sand in them. So I think the kilties may have helped to keep any debris out. Because if you see this, it kind of, I mean, you would think that the tongue would do that as well, but I think this helps because it's hanging down a little bit lower. I don't know, I just took out this and there's no sand in them. We went to Monterey Bay Aquarium today, and while we were out there, we stopped at the beach. So, okay. Now that I did that, I'm going to put this on, make sure this has no... Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter for this one. I was going to say make sure it has no mink oil, but that's the one. I'm not going to iron my Mocto 875s, but I just, wherever I touch the towel, I want to make sure that there's no mink oil on those because it'll darken it. And I'm pushing relatively hard. We'll see how it looks. Okay, so that texture, that rough out texture does come back. And I don't remember how it looked when I first... I could still see the wrinkles. I'm going to try again. So I'm trying to focus on this area right here and just hold it down. And I'm pushing pretty hard. I mean, like, compressing, you know. So I'm not being gentle, I'm pushing hard. So I'm going side to side because the boot tree is supporting underneath. So I'm trying to smooth out those wrinkles. It's helping a little bit. Let's try these ones. On the side, there goes Harry. Mr. Harry coming. Alright, so I'm going to hold it and then push down. I don't want to burn myself. Again, pushing pretty hard. Looks like when you got a stubborn wrinkle. I don't know if you've seen that, but that was a whole bunch of calcium that just spat out of that. The wrinkles are starting to come out. The only thing I'm wondering is like how long, because when I ironed my boots last time, ironing these Chelsea boots, it did help because you all seen when I took them out of the box, it looked pretty bad. Then I wore these a couple times, but compared to how it did look before, I think it does look a lot better. So I'm just going to keep ironing. I'm going to do it again. Just do iron it multiple times. Hey, yoo-hoo! Hello? Doesn't really need this. I thought someone was trying to get in the garage. It's helping a little bit. Let me just try again. I think that's as good as it's going to get right here. And then you could see the wrinkles here. I'm going to try again. I bet you a video where I could get a lot of views is ironing Air Force Ones. I don't wear those type of shoes. I used to a long time ago when I was in high school, but I bet you that would get a lot of views. Ironing my Air Force Ones. I might get some just to get the views. It is starting to look better as I'm repeating the process. I mean, I think. So I'm going to compare the two. I think you can see the difference. Because they both have the boot trees in them. The shine makes it easier to see. The good thing is, so the shine makes it easier to see the creases. But, so this is also an important experiment. Because when you put mink oil on this Thursday boot rough out leather, something that we learned from this is that you could get the texture back to the rough out leather. Similar to this. By ironing them. This is the original texture, so it kind of just resets the boot. I mean, yeah, this is how the boot naturally looked without putting the mink oil, and I prefer this more shiny look. But what I notice is that when you have it with the mink oil, the creases are much more noticeable. So what I'm going to try and do is iron these now. Let's just try this one more time for this might be a thumbnail picture. Last time I did it, I thought this was a good one, but it depends what you're trying to see. Yeah, so now that I'm looking at this in the camera, the shininess makes the wrinkles look much more apparent. Although ironing it does take a lot of the wrinkles out. I mean, most of the wrinkles out. Now, I'm just going to start ironing this one. You'll see the results live so you know what to expect. Okay, so pushing long and hard on that. So, as I said, it takes the shine out, which is fine. I mean, you just have to condition them again. And the wrinkles are still there. Again, they become more apparent when they're shiny from the mink oil. But let me just try this again. I'm going to move the iron angle sideways and then go up and down. It's a little bit tougher to get these ones out. I'm going to try the side. I'm going to give the top a little break. I'm going to try the side. You could see these. Now let's see how it is after I iron it. Yeah, these are pretty stubborn. Some of these are pretty stubborn. Also, I mean, I know I mentioned starting a business, or I started a business, but behind the scenes right now, I'm in the process of making another ad. I still haven't shared my other ads, but I'm waiting for this costume to come through. Eventually, if anyone shows any interest in the business, I might show the ad. It's a pretty funny one. Or I think it's funny. Or at least the idea in my head, it seems funny. But I'm waiting for it to arrive. That costume's going to arrive in the mail anytime now. It might have already arrived. So I'm really trying to push hard and get these wrinkles out. I also don't like how these kind of flare up over time. Like on these ones, they're kind of like popping up. The stitches coming out. I don't like that. I'm gonna iron it. It should come down a little bit once I iron it. These look pretty good. The thing is, after I iron my last boots, although they look good initially, the first time you wear them, they all come back, I think. Well, I mean, actually that's not true. Because, like I said, those other ones, they looked really bad. But the main ones come back. The main creases and wrinkles come back. Like the deep ones. Let's see. Try this again. I think this is as good as it's gonna get. I don't know how else to get these. I don't know how else to get these wrinkles out. I tried my best to iron it. I'll try this one again because it's a deep wrinkle. I'm trying to think if there's any leather products that'll stiffen up the leather, but I don't think so. It's just the leather, the type of leather that it is. Anyways, I tried my best to get all the creases out, but some of them are pretty stubborn. Like this one. These are just like the main creases, all the ones I was trying to get out. You could still see the wrinkle from them. I'm assuming it's still going to be there. This video had cut out, so I'm not really sure where it was left off, but I think I'm just going to let them sit a while, try and get all the moisture out. I might hit them with the heat gun, but I'm just going to hold off on touching these. Trying to let it hold whatever straightness I got from ironing them. Now I'm going to take out these laces. And it's funny because I was just talking about when I was talking to myself and it wasn't recording because the video stopped recording. I was talking about a lot of on these Thursday boots, it's like the quality of the leather is what's creating these creases. It has nothing to do with because I wonder if there's like some type of leather product that will stiffen up the leather to make it harder to prevent creasing, kind of like starch. But I don't think there would be. It's kind of just like the type of leather that you use. But like this is like this leather from these Iron Rangers is like a thick leather. And you can see they don't really crease the same way. It's all straight here. And it's bending a little bit, but there's not really like creases. Like These ones have like embedded creases, although these are my most used boots. So we'll see what happens. It's kind of just like experimenting. So now what I'm getting ready to do is wash these with saddle soap. Once I find the saddle soap. Let's see, I got a mess over here. I should eventually clean this, but where is the saddle soap? Alright, so I got the saddle soap. It was in my leather cleaning supplies. Let me just take these out really quick. So it says it cleans, conditions. I don't think saddle soap is typically supposed to conditions, nourishes, and preserves leather. That almost sounds like it's not for cleaning. So actually what I'm going to do first, I'm going to add some warm water to this. I'm going to clean the whole thing, and then I'm going to put saddle soap and then leather lotion, because I feel like the saddle soap kind of strips away a layer. So we'll see how this looks. This is how they look now. I'll do one boot and then the other. I'm going to hold off on the saddle soap. I have some warm water in here. I'm just going to pour the water out. Okay. And then I'm going to spray foam cleaner. I'm going to brush the boot first and get any dirt. I make these videos cleaning my shoes and stuff because it's kind of weird, but like I'll watch like cobblers, and sometimes I'll watch like people just cleaning their shoes or their boots mostly. And I mean, one, you learn, and then also it's kind of just, usually they're not talking. I tend to talk a lot, but I'm doing two things at once. Okay, so I dusted off all the leather. Now I'm going to start. Let me get my apron on. So, what was I going to say? Anyways, so I got the warm water with the foam cleaner. I'm just going to start cleaning it. I noticed these soles, the white part on these not Iron Rangers, Mach 2875s, they get dirty really quick, even more than those Thursday Diplomats that I have. It's like they're attracted to it. After I clean these, I'll wear it one time just walking, and then the dirt, it'll just pick up dirt. I'm running out of space on my phone, so I'm trying to... So this was the one that was darker, and you can see even the lace was dark. The stitch was dark from when the tire had rubbed it. They look pretty good. I'll try and use this stiffer brush, but you can see the darkness on these white parts of the sole. You just can't be like too particular about your boots, especially these are kind of like work boots. So a lot of people, they want that fake patina when you put like mink oil or whatever. They like the dirty look. I like the orange look. Each his own. Everyone likes what they like. I'm pretty sure after I have these for a while, I'll want that darker look or that more beat up look. I want to enjoy it a little bit while it still has that orange color. And this little brush, it's a little stiffer, so it kind of helps. I also have a whole bunch of, I bought those stiff, hard toothbrushes. Actually, I got the wrong ones. We usually use like the soft ones. So now I have a use for those now that I think about it. And then off over here, what I'm doing is just wiping off the excess soap. And you can see this is still that dark part from all the dirt. So this is a little tip. You see this dirt? I'm going to be able to get it out. I'm going to rub it in circles instead of up and down. And it kind of makes sense because it's a rougher texture. It needs to be hit from different angles to remove the dirt. Like if you're going side to side, it's not going to get it. Almost got it. Still a lot cleaner than it was. Okay, so this one is clean enough. Yeah, I'm gonna pause the video, clean the other one. From there, then I'm gonna do saddle soap, then leather lotion. Alright, so I just brushed them all and then wiped them down. I brushed them with the horsehair brush to remove loose dirt, and then I cleaned them with the foam soap with warm water. And now, this is for both of these, and then now I'm going to dry them out with a heat gun. I'm just going to hold it far away, let some warm air. Okay, so hit it with the horsehair, remove loose dirt, then I put the foam cleaner, and then I just washed them with saddle soap. And it's darkened the leather. It's still orange, but it's not like that reddish color. And I haven't wiped it off yet. I'm just showing you before I actually wipe it. So I think it does kind of like condition it, because it doesn't look as dry as it did. which is good. And then I'm gonna wipe this one first. Yeah, so it definitely darkened it. But I'm thinking this was not just 100% pure saddle soap. Oh, also it might be a little wet. Yeah, it might be moisture because it says to put water with the saddle soap to get the suds. That's what it might be actually. I might dry it out with the heat gun after this and then apply the leather lotion. Before I dry these out with the heat gun, I'm going to add saddle soap to these. And I'll check back in to see how it's looking. Alright, so I added the saddle soap to these boots. It looks similar to how it looks with mink oil, but I haven't wiped this off yet, so I'm going to just wipe it off because this saddle soap says to wipe off excess. For these ones I'm going to re-add mink oil because I like how it looks like wet. Like, it's pretty cool. But I already wiped off the excess from the 875 Red Wings, and now I'm wiping off all this little white excess, and we'll see. Looks very similar. Yeah, it looks very similar to when I had mink oil. But I think the mink oil does condition it, or it's a more uniform shininess. I feel like it gets into the cracks and crevices better. Except for this one, I've never seen it happen with the mink oil where it gets stuck in the stitching. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is try and dry them both off with the heat gun, and we'll see how it looks. Okay. So first I brushed off the excess dirt with a horsehair brush. Then I washed them with foam leather cleaner. Then I used saddle soap. Then I conditioned them with leather lotion. Then I polished them again with a horsehair brush. And this is how they're looking. The good thing is that wheel mark came off. They are a little darker, but I think it also has to do with the moisture. They look really good. I am noticing this little, what can you do? I mean, they're just gonna crease over time with wear. Anyways, so that's that one, and this is this one. They're a little bit darker, but they still look good. And then these boots. I have not polished these because I haven't added mink oil yet, so I'll check back in after I do that. Just checking in really quick. This is how they look with the laces back on and everything else that I said I did. The only addition that I'm doing over here is I'm putting a thick coat of the mink oil, and it gets a darker and a more shinier shine versus this just has the saddle soap on this texture of leather, and you can see it's not as shiny and the color is not as dark after putting saddle soap on it. It's a lighter brown versus this is much darker. And after I'm done putting the saddle soap on this one, I'm going to wipe off the excess of both of them, and then I'm going to shine them. So I'll check in before that, and then I'll close out the video. Okay, so pretty much they look the same as they did by the end of the last video. This is kind of how I wear them. Yeah, with the kilty, they look like wet. I like how they look. And then these look the same as the last clip. But just out here, hanging with Harry again. I'm going to close this one out. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll catch you all on the next one.